What is up, guys?
Hey guys.
Doing some birthday squats. For some reason, my squatting always lands on my birthday. I don't know how that always happens, but it's been
Oh
happening for the
yeah.
past 3 years. And so I've been keeping it. Let's see, hopefully next year I have a squat Saturday. And here, I actually hit a PR on this. I'm gonna hit a high bar for 315 for 10 reps in a long time. No, actually it was 12 reps. It was a 12 rep PR. I could have gone for 15, but I didn't want to go RP 10, so I stayed at RP 9. But yeah, I felt really good today. The weight was just flying up. And for someone asked me about squat depth and how low should you go? Well, that depends on many factors because some people will go lower than others, some people won't. But my preference was always just go as low as your body will allow you to go. That being said, you should be at least be at a 90-degree depth. So your hips should be right where your knees are, where your knee creases. Your hip crease should be right where your knees are. So if that's not the case, then you probably need to work on your flexibility. But you shouldn't be above that. And if you go lower than that, that's fine. But your goal should not be to go as low as possible. That should not be your goal. Your goal should be what's comfortable and to be at least 90 degrees. See something you have to say about that?
Yeah, pretty much like just what helps you feel like pretty much the strongest. So if you feel like your strong point is a little lower than 90, then sometimes like I actually feel better at like a little lower than 90. So I usually go like a little lower. But like pretty much yeah. 90 is good, lower is good. That's how it is.
I'm just tired of all these people always saying like, oh, you always butt to the ground, always squat as low as you can go. That's not really the goal here. I know a lot of people they get that mindset and they go in the gym and they end up getting hurt or they just can't do it and they feel like they're not doing anything. Well, that shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be to just perform well and to get decent depth. Like me myself, I only go about 90 degrees. I mean, right here I go a little lower because I'm doing high bar, but when I do low bar, I tend to just go 90 degrees, and that's all that's really needed. Especially in the powerlifting federations, 90 degrees, the hip crease. I shouldn't say 90 degrees, but it's about the hip crease. So where your hips are, that should be right where your knees are. That's kind of hard to explain without showing a picture, but that line where your hips are should be at least where your knees are when you're at the bottom, if that makes sense. I did this for 4 sets. I got kind of tired. I couldn't do all 12 reps. But I felt pretty good though. And I tend to do my high bar squats on hypertrophy days just so I can get more quad stimulation. Although I do get quite a bit quad stimulation from doing low bar as well, so I'm not saying that high bar is just for quads. But I felt like how it feels different. For the longest time I always really didn't like high bar because I didn't have the flexibility, but I'm starting to get better at it, and actually almost kind of prefer it more now over low bar, which is quite odd hearing from me because I've been a low bar squatter for a long time.
So why do you prefer high?
I don't know, I'm still starting to feel a lot better, and the flexibility is getting better. My calves aren't as tight as they used to be anymore, and I feel like low bar puts a lot of stress on my shoulders, and high bar doesn't do that as much. So it's just a health standpoint, it's a lot better for me. And it is actually a lot healthier movement doing high bar than low bar. I know a lot of other people can agree with me on that. But if you guys are having a hard time figuring out what squat technique is better for you, experiment with trying low bar, trying high bar, and figuring out what best works for your biomechanics. Because everyone's going to be a little different. Some people just perform better in high bar. Because there are elite powerlifters. Bryce Lewis, for example, he squats high bar and he is really strong. So it's not to say only low bar squatters are strong, because there are some high bars out there. And that's one thing that steered me away from high bar at first, was because I thought low bar was the only way to go. But now that I see there are high bar squatters that are that strong, I'm tending to shift now to high bar. But I will be doing low bar still, so that's not out of the woods yet. And I like doing these hack squats. These are a really old hack squat machine, so it's not your typical. It's at a really high incline. It's not like your usual hack squat you see in most commercial gyms. This is a really old machine, but I think it really helps hit the quads a lot better than the modern ones for some reason. But I don't suggest you using machines if they hurt you, because I know a lot of people, like Cynthia.
These feel very awkward on me, actually. I used to do these in the beginning, and yeah, I didn't like them, so just didn't really go with me. Didn't work out for me.
Yeah, just like Cynthia can do the leg press, and I can't do the leg press. The leg press just puts too much stress on my lower back and my knees. But I can do hack squat no problem. But the thing about hack squats and leg press and all this other machine work is that try not to go too heavy on these, because they're not to your mechanics, so they can mess you up and cause injury. So I just tend to just go higher reps on these, like in the 8 to 12 rep range. Some days I'll go 6, but that's probably as low as I'll go. And same thing for leg press. I don't think that there's a need to go so heavy on those. Like save those lower rep work for your squats, because those are a lot more safer than doing these. But yeah, these are great though. If you have a hack squat in your gym, try it out. And always make sure you have your knees out.
Okay, front squats. So, I don't know how much is this. Anyways, I was really trying to, a tip I heard from Dan Grain. Every time we go down, really focus on bringing your elbows, your arms high right at the breaking point where you feel like your arms are about to collapse. So like usually that's like on the bottom portion, like right about there, your arms start collapsing. And you just really got to focus on actually over exaggerating it, basically. Like once you feel like your shoulders and arms are like about to like collapse, then you just over exaggerate and push it up even higher. And then when you do that, it's actually barely parallel.
Yeah, to further elaborate on that, guys, at the bottom portion, when you're getting tired, your elbows will come up they will go down slightly. That's expected because you're just getting tired. But just really over exaggerate. So at the bottom, just pick your elbows up higher than what you usually would do them, and it'll really help drive the bar up and drive your hips forward when you're coming up for the lift. But yeah, front squats are also an amazing movement for the quads, and also good for making sure that you're keeping your T-spine a lot more neutral instead of going forward so much. A lot of people tend to bend forward too much when they're squatting. You might want to try front squats, as they will help you stay more upright in the movement.
Yeah, I started really wanting to do front squats when in my back squats, I started noticing that I was leaning forward a lot. Like, not a lot, but like more than usual. And I know that I knew that in order to like make my, because I'm always about always making my form better. So I really want to focus on just, yeah, bringing my back more neutral. So I've been doing more front squats. Well, at least was right there. Actually, right now I got a new protocol specifically for my powerlifting that my powerlifting meet that I'm going to be doing. So I'm working more actually, or here I'm doing more of the higher rep range, and now I'm working more in the heavier rep range of right now. So okay, just in case anybody wants to know, anybody's wondering. Usually people ask how long of a breaks do they take in between sets, and there really is no such thing as a certain like amount of a break. Like just as long as you get your energy back and you feel like ready to get back into the next set, and that's when it's very personal, like into it's a personal thing, like preferential. So some people will only need 2 minutes, some people probably need 6 minutes, it doesn't matter.
Also depends on the muscle you're training. Let's say you're doing like squats or deads, or even like pressing. You're gonna take a longer rest period than doing like, let's say, bicep curls or tricep extensions. While those you take like a minute or 2 minutes between rests. When you do squats, you're gonna take a longer rest period, up to like 5 minutes sometimes, when you're going heavy. I know Cynthia can vouch for that because she's like she takes long rest
I
periods.
take humongous because like I like to feel very ready for the next set. I don't want to go in like,
Yeah, you shouldn't go into your next set huffing and puffing. That's
Yeah.
you. Then you just tone back. I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, your goal, like I said, like I always say, your goal in the gym should be performance, and you can't perform well when you're huffing and puffing through your next set. That's just not gonna go well. So take your time with your workout and don't feel so rushed. Unless they're trying to kick you out or something, but
oh, that happens.
you're doing some leg curls, which I only do on my hypertrophy days now. This is also another machine that some people enjoy and some people don't. So if this is not something that you like doing or feels uncomfortable, you can always try doing substituting it for seated leg curls. You can do pull throughs. Those are awesome, by the way. You can do Romanian deadlifts, stiff-legged deadlifts, which I think are kind of the same thing. Just slight difference in your knee, but
Oh yeah. I also believe that in my deadlift, I've been working more on trying to keep my torso more upright instead of bringing it forward so much. And right there, I believe I was doing it. I don't know.
yeah, we both got very better at keeping our shoulders back and when we deadlift, because I noticed that I used to also as well have my shoulders a little too far forward, and that can cause some strength loss in your deadlift, so it's always important to stay back on it.
And like not only that, like I just mean like I don't know if I can show it right. It's hard to explain. Just don't right when you're about to pick up the weight. Not to lean forward, but to fall back in a way.
Yeah, it's like you want to fall back. I know it sounds kind of weird, but yeah, it's what it is. You're trying to overcome the weight. See, Cynthia's trying to do that right here.
Just kind of.
But you don't want to squat the weight up. It's not a squat. It's very different. All people think, oh yeah, it's a squat. It's a squat and a deadlift. No, it's not a squat. A deadlift is very different from a squat. It shouldn't be even remotely the same.
Yeah, you can actually start off pretty high if you want to.
Yeah, A lot of people tend to start off too low, but that's not. You're gonna lose all the strength that way. You want to start off semi-high. And here I am doing Romanian deadlifts. I used to do this with dumbbells, but now I just do this with a barbell because if I would do them with dumbbells, I'd go too heavy, and I'm just like lowering the bar up with plates instead. It's a lot easier that way. And a tip for these also is making sure the bar is as close to your body as possible. I know a lot of people, they tend to have the bar a little too far ahead of them, and that can cause some back a lot of stress on your back. So try to keep the bar as close as possible, and make sure that you're driving your hips back. The point of this is not to reach your feet. Like, it's not a calisthenic movement. Most people think they just reach to your feet. You're not reaching down. It's more of your hips coming back and coming forward sort of movement. And these will help strengthen your deadlift and your squat. I can guarantee you that. I'm doing these for 3 to 4 sets of 10 and 12 reps. You can go lower reps if you want. But I feel like if I go too low in reps, I'll tend to put too much stress on my back and not on my hamstrings. But you will feel some tension on your back. That's normal. But just make sure that you are activating your hamstrings, and when you go up, you make sure that you squeezing your glutes. That's one of the main focus on this lift.
And just always in all your lifts, make sure that you're contracting your abs and contracting your glutes, to always make sure that you have a neutral back and it's not overarching or rounding by any sort of degree. Just always make sure that your back is neutral, and by doing that, contracting your abs and glutes.
Taco meat. That birthday protein. Here's the final product. So good.
It makes you wonder what's wrong.
So there's 2 tacos and my 5 tacos.
I'm gonna go get more.
Oh, okay. How much
I wanted to get cold.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Happy birthday, dear Arnold. Happy birthday to you. Oh, come on, you think you would have
You run out of strength.
Woo, let's eat. Mommy's afraid of the fight. Oh!
Show the cake, guys.
Yum.
See, dieting and still eating cake. That's what macros does for you. Oh, God. Get these up.